that really did not go to plan in the end, did it? 5-1 loss in the Champions League final. A 5-1 loss. Absolute embarrassment. We've bottled the Champions League and the league this season. And I thought if we win the Champions League, we won't have to do much to the squad next season. But it looks like it's going to be another fairly big rebuild. André Santos, a centre midfielder, signed from Chelsea for £53.9 million. Kenan Yildiz, an attacking midfielder, signed from Juventus for £70.5 million. Zakaria Elouadi, a right back, signed from Burnley for £39.6 million. Marc Pubil, a centre back, signed from Atletico Madrid for £35.5 million. And finally, we have Nick Marks, another centre-back, signed from Osasuna for £55 million. Outgoings-wise, again, there was quite a lot of them. Radoslav Železny left for AZ Alkmaar for a fee of £4 million. An unfortunate sale, but one we had to make, I think. Brian Zaragoza has left the club for a second time, and this time he signed for Real Betis permanently for £31.7 million. Rubinho Vaz has left and actually gone to Bayern Munich, so he has got a good future ahead of him. £18.5 million. Grigor Vardazayan, who was a player we brought in from the free agents at the start of last season, we've now sold him on to Bournemouth for £16.5 million. Matteo Manini has left for Genoa for £3.1 million. Youngster Ivan Lombardi has headed out on loan to Birmingham for the season. Another youngster, William Letonia, has left the club on loan and he's gone to Valencia for the season. Hugo Larsson was a big sale. He has headed off to Arsenal for £36.7 million. Vladimir Kovalchuk, our young Ukrainian striker, has left on loan again this season, but this time he stayed in Italy with Cremonese. Our Ukrainian centre mid, Viktor Karchenko, has left for Levante on loan for the season. Archie Gray has signed for Manchester United for £28.5 million. Daniele Ghilardi has left the club and signed for Wolfsburg for £10.1 million. Young centre attacking mid, Ricardo Fuentes, has gone out on loan again, and this time he's gone to Villarreal on loan. Daniel D'Angelo, another youngster, has headed out to Torino on loan. David Bisilagitwa has headed out on loan once again, and this time he's gone to LA Galaxy. William Bash has gone out on loan, and he has gone to Pisa for the season. Tommaso Baldanzi has been sold permanently this time, and he's gone to West Ham for £19.3 million. Saud Abdul Hamid is the final player on this list. He has been sold to Norwich for £7 million. I've said this in the past, and I'm going to say it again. This game cannot keep Roma and Inter Milan separate, as our first match in the Serie A season has put us up against Inter Milan. Shock. But really this season, we shouldn't be bothered who's put in front of us, because we are on a mission to win absolutely everything this season, and we get on our way to doing that straight away. Emmanuel Omega scoring in the 10th minute. He would then score again in the 20th minute, before then dispatching a penalty on the stroke of half-time to score again and make it 3-0 and 3 for himself. We go all the way up to the 74th minute now with Elouadi on the ball on the right-hand side. Ryan inside to André Santos, who plays a lovely ball through to Kenan Yildiz, who gets a goal for himself on debut. Inter Milan would pull a goal back in the 80th minute with Çalhanoğlu chipping Svilar brilliantly, but that would only prove to be a consolation. And then the inevitable happened. Mile Svilar picking up another training injury after clashing with one of his defenders. So we would head into the match away at Torino with Antonin Kinski in goal once again. Luckily at the moment it doesn't matter who we've got in goal, because it's who we've got up front that is writing all the headlines. Emmanuel Omega with his 4th goal of the season in just 1 game and 12 minutes. And Omega is very much a man on a mission, as he broke many records last season and looks to continue breaking records through this season, as he hit the post with that last chance, but then scores another one anyway in the 40th minute to make it 2-0 to Roma and 5 goals in 2 appearances. And he even had time before half-time to grab himself a second hat-trick in 2 matches. Make that 6 goals in 2 appearances. And the pattern from the last match followed as Matthias Sule puts a ball into the box, it misses everyone and falls for Kenan Yildiz at the back post. Just like the last match, Omega scores the first 3, Yildiz scores the 4th. And in this match, we even had time for a 5th goal, with an unlikely source of Zakaria El Ouadi getting his first goal for Roma, having been set up by his Moroccan international teammate Neil El Ainaoui. You won't have seen him in those highlights, but it was a promising debut for Nicolo Pisilli, but unfortunately, he suffered a broken toe, so he won't be making another appearance anytime soon. Back at the Olimpico once again, and you think Inter Milan at home was a hard start to the season. How about following that up at Lazio at home? With derby rivalries, all form goes out of the window, but Emmanuel Omega was trying to buck that trend as he gets yet another goal. Into the 43rd minute, so just before half-time again, Dorgu on the ball, gives it to Omega in the box, and that's probably the best goal of the lot. Jinks it onto his right foot past the defender and finishes it in the bottom corner. That is now 8 goals in 3 appearances, or rather 2.5 appearances. But just like in all the other derbies, Lazio were not going to go away quietly, and just like in all the other derbies, Cancellieri scores a goal. I swear he scored every single time we've played against them. But in the end, that didn't matter too much because, well, Emmanuel Omega exists, and he gets his 3rd hat-trick in 3 appearances. I thought this guy was too good already, but he has turned up the levels once again. And that goal seals the win in the derby, 3-1 win over Lazio. So we're ripping up the Serie A. Can we continue it into the Champions League? Our first opponents are FC Copenhagen. We were certainly carrying on in the same vein with Emmanuel Omega forcing an early save out of Nathan Trott. But unlike all the other teams so far, Copenhagen were not here to make up the numbers, and a lovely passing move is finished off by Youssoufa Moukoko to make it 1-0 to Copenhagen. And as the first half went on, they started to get more and more dangerous. 30th minute, Larsson running through on goal, having a shot which needed to be saved by Svilar just in case. And meanwhile, at the other end, Nathan Trott was doing everything to keep Omega shots out of the net, and he was being very successful. And the trend continued as Omega threw with another chance in the 49th minute, and once again Trott is there to save. And all of these missed chances would come back to bite us as Madsen with a header over the top of Svilar, and it's 2-0 to Copenhagen. But Omega would not be denied his goal as he scores a header from a Patrick Dorgu corner, but that is all she wrote. And in the end, after our blistering start in the league, our first match in the Champions League ends up in a 2-1 defeat to FC Copenhagen. And this is how the league table looks after the games we've played so far. 3 games played, 3 games won, 12 scored, 2 against, 9 points, top of the league. Let's freaking go. I actually played on into September during the sort of last bit of commentary, the Prost commentary. The Prost? What's a Prost commentary? So we have 3 games to play in this part of the episode. Parma at home, Genoa away, and Benfica at home in the Champions League. And hopefully, I've sorted out the audio. You have no idea how long I spent trying to fix my audio settings. Well, here we go then. Parma at home. That is the first team. It has performed wonders so far. Yildiz has been a breath of fresh air at that attacking mid spot. Andre Santos has also done really well coming in at centre midfield. The rest of them are the rest of them. I mean, Omega has just been... I didn't think he could hit another level after last season, but he has. Like, he's literally scored 3 hat-tricks in his first 3 Serie A matches. Like, what is that? I bet Jonathan David thought he was running away with it with 6 in his first 3, but nah, mate. Omega. It is Roma against Parma. Of course, we had an amazing start in Serie A, but then it kind of got tainted a bit by the performance we had in the Champions League. But as we've known so far this career mode, we don't perform well in Europe to start off with. Dorgu trying to play in Yildiz. It's come to Omega instead. Lovely ball back through towards Yildiz. He needs a bit of help. He cuts onto his right foot and it's saved by the goalkeeper, whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's pronounced Zavishitsky. I'm saying someone's name. I'm not swearing. Yildiz with the ball over the top. Here is Emmanuel Omega, the man of the moment, the main man. He can score from anywhere so far this season, and he's tried the Trivella there. Andre Santos playing it to Manu Kone. Oh my days. Sorensen, great ball through. Svilar's going to have to come for it. And Bernabe has put Parma 1-0 up. They've had barely a sniff in this match so far, but we haven't taken our chances, and Parma capitalise. They have done some nice attacking moves, and that was another one, and unfortunately, Svilar couldn't get there in time. This is nice play, though. Omega through for Ryan. Ryan's in here. He took forever to line that shot up. I pressed the button, and it took about 10 years. He's going to take the corner, though. He's going to swing it in. Omega at the near post. It's off the bar, but it's headed in by Jakub Kivior for the equaliser. I thought for a second then that it was going to be one of those games where we just won't score a goal, but Jakub Kiwior has changed that and we're back on level terms. Andre Santos with the ball to Emmanuel Omega. He's got 5 defenders in front of him here and someone catching him up, but he's just going to let them all back off and take the shot. Here is Andre Santos to Omega. Here is Ryan. Wesley on the outside, that's a great run, play back inside, Emmanuel Omega, it's in! It's through the goalkeeper, and he puts us into the lead. He's there again, his 10th goal of the season in just his 4th appearance. He's genuinely on course to score more goals than he did last season, and he scored 49 last season. Here come Palmer again with a quick passing. They're passing it around ever so nicely here. He's finding space with the quick ticky-tack of football. Was that a shot? Dorgu with a great run. Omega needs to continue his. He has done. Plays it inside. Emmanuel Omega, it's just wide. It nearly hit the twerking mascot. Not a good header that from Kiwior at all. Luckily, Palmer didn't know what to do with it, and they've left the midfield has been left up here. Here is Ibrahim Maza, goes for a strike himself, and then once again it's gone through the goalkeeper, but he's managed to get it over the bar. One final corner to be whipped in by Ryan towards Wesley Fofana, wide. That is full time here at the Olympico. We went 1-0 down, but we've turned it around. Omega only got 1 goal in this game, though. That is a poor performance by his standards this season. And just like that, we've hit another match, and this time we go up against Genoa. And this is a screen I've barely showed you at all in this series. The tactical analysis screen, or whatever it is. I haven't been showing it yet because, I'll be honest with you, does it really matter too much? Gone for a few changes for the team in this match. Kinski comes in goal. We've got Mark Pubil and Nick Marks in the centre of defence, along with Neil El Ainaoui in the midfield. It is Genoa against Roma. Here goes Wesley down the right-hand side. Someone's making a run at the far post. It's Kenan Yildiz. Norton Cuffy heads it across his own area. That was not a good idea. Omega's found space here. Ball played through by Yildiz. It's not the greatest. It's forced him out wide a bit, but it doesn't matter. Emmanuel Omega, 5 games. Well, he scored in all 5 games he's played in the league. 5 appearances, 11 goals now. We're going for some kind of record here. Today is one of those days where the game feels sluggish as hell. Kinski, good save. So I'm playing it a bit slower because the game feels slower. Every player's got the turning circle of a lorry. Yildiz, ball over the top. I think Omega's onside. He is, and he's got another one. Again, a poor touch. That's down to what I've just said about the game. But Emmanuel Omega, it doesn't matter to him. It's 2-0 Roma. Marks wins that header well. Yildiz playing it to Neil El Ainaoui, who's running into the space. El Ainaoui. Oh, that ball's gone to Omega. That's not where... Referee! I don't even know what happened there, and I shouted ref because of how he went over, but Norton Cuffy's having a bit of a shocker of a match here, it has to be said. I think it's fair to say Omega made the most of that one. Let's see if he makes the most of this penalty opportunity to get yet another hat-trick. It's his 4th hat-trick of the season already. Emmanuel Omega is proving that he is far too good for the Serie A, and in fact far too good for football in general by the looks of this. And bear in mind as well, it's not like he's one of the best players in the game in this save. He's only 83 rated. Like, he spent this whole time pretty much being one of the lower rated players in the squad. Here is Frendrup, save from Kinski. Manu Kone dives in there and comes away with, well, not with the ball, but ensures that Genoa players don't get it. Omega playing it out wide for Wesley. Can he get it into the middle? He can. Sule back to Yildiz. We've managed to find a way through. And Kenan Yildiz, who's been like, when we've scored more than 3 goals, he's generally been the one to score the other goal that's not Omega's. He's got his 3rd goal of the season in the Serie A. Kenan Yildiz. It's 4-0 to Roma. I hate the fact that you can't change the captain mid-game, by the way, because of Kone coming off. The captaincy gets moved, and it's been put on the arm of Nick Marks, of all people in the squad. We've made wholesale changes now. Omega, Yildiz, Kone, Wesley and Fofana have all come off. I hate the fact that you can't change the captain mid-game, by the way, because of Kone coming off. The captaincy gets moved, and it's been put on the arm of Nick Marks, of all people in the squad. The youngest person in the squad, the person who's probably played the least this season, has now got the captain's armband, and I wanted to give it to someone else, like El Ainaoui. Anyway, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Speaking of El Ainaoui, he's just played a brilliant ball through to Mattis Tell, who makes it 5. Here is Mattis Tell. A run being made there by Ibrahim Mazza. Tell's continued his. Is this going to be a 6th? It is. Mattis Tell's got 2. Can he get a hat-trick in this match? This is nice play. Mazza out wide. Here is Patrick Dorgu. Ball inside. Matthias Soulé. It is 7-0. This is an absolute demolition job on Genoa. They are really, really bad now. And there we go. The demolition job has ended. Only 1 minute of added time at the end. The ref was looking to put Genoa out of their misery. They have now. This man gets another hat-trick. His 4th in 5 Serie A appearances. And we roll on to the Champions League. I mean, just look at the state of that. Yeah, Jonathan, look at Jonathan David. Jonathan David's done bits there. And yeah, he's just been absolutely outclassed by Emmanuel Emega. 9 goals in 5 matches is no mean feat. He is smashing it at the moment. Unfortunately for him, Emega exists. However, we now hit the Champions League again. And as we've seen already in this episode, it's a completely different challenge altogether. The only loss we've had in this episode is to Copenhagen, who are not the strongest team we've played in this episode at all. They're not one of the weakest, but they're certainly nowhere near any of the strongest. And now we come up against an even stronger opponent in Benfica. Full first team is out, apart from Nick Marks, who really impressed me in that last match, so he gets the start again. It is Roma against Benfica. Oh, and it's Mario Hermoso playing against us as well. To be fair, we've sold that many players in this save. We're gonna come up against a former player every other match now. Andre Santos with the ball forward. Ryan's made a run. I don't know if he's onside or not. He is onside. He's made a fantastic run. Plays it inside to Emmanuel Emega. How many times in this episode am I going to say this man's name? He's got yet another goal. Nobody tracked Ryan's run there at all. Like, I saw it on the radar and I played the ball anyway, even though I just thought Ryan was offside, because I just thought there was no chance he'd be on. Here is Rafa. Oh, he sat Soulé down there. Fair play. Svilar saves the shot from Bruma. Umar Soulé, hang your head in shame. You have just been well and truly murked. I have not used that word in a long time. Rafa ball through. Here is Pavlidis. Svilar coming out. Oh, Umar Soulé. Dorgu ball through to Yildiz. Yildiz crossing into the box. Emega picks it up, tries to be filthy with it. I don't know why I said that. That was just the first phrase that came to my head. Bruma back to Dahl again. Tries to get a cross in. Manu Kone wins that. Andre Santos, that is awful. What the hell was that? Andre Santos. You've just touched it perfectly back into their path again, and Pavlidis is the one who scores the goal to make it 1-1. Emega's making a run here. You do not want him making a run through on goal, because guess what's going to happen next? Easy. 2-1. Oh, that's a great turn from Pavlidis. Marks was slow there. Luckily, Svilar was alert to it. Nice play there from Kenan Yildiz. And Dorgu is on the move. Here is Patrick Dorgu. Played inside Emega for yet another hat-trick. This guy is inevitable at this point. And I'll be honest, every time he gets a hat-trick, I do sub him off, because what's the point in keeping him out there? If he scores a hat-trick in like the first 20 minutes of the game, then sure, I might keep him out there just to see how many goals he's going to score. But at this point, there's no point keeping him on. Save his energy, save his fitness. Mattis Tell, very, very capable replacement, as we've seen. Here he is already, look. He's brought it down there brilliantly. Mattis Tell! Oh my tees! It's the 3rd minute of 2 added on. They've got a corner. They've done the same thing they've done all match. And Pavlidis heads over, and that is full time. A 3-1 win for Roma. Our Champions League campaign has finally been kick-started, and this man is going to have to build a cupboard in his house for all the match balls he's got. Well, here is the league table for the Serie A. We are top of that table with 15 points out of 15. AC Milan join us on that total. They are the only other club now to have won all of their games. However, our goal difference is, 11 better off. In 5 games, we've scored 21 goals and conceded 3. And a quick look at the Champions League, we currently sit in 17th after 2 games. I am desperate to make sure we finish in the top 8 of that this year. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Roma Career Mode, the start of Season 3. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you like what you see and you want to see more, and if you don't want to miss a video, hit that little bell somewhere near the subscribe button and select all notifications, and you won't miss a video from me. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and peace.